Hello, my friends. It's me, Chris Biffle, also known as Coach B. Monday, September 30th, 2013. And a zingy broadcast for you tonight. This is week 4 of our Whole Brain Teaching Masterclass, 13 weeks of high-powered instruction. We got people on from all over the United States. I'm just going to check my online audience right now, and you can check them too. Who's been here all 4 weeks? Just give me a yes or a no. And let's tell people how we're doing. All 4 weeks, yes or no. Here we go. I'm going to enlarge it. Look at that. 1 no. Wow. What a bunch of good students. We might let you out early for recess. Good job, my friends. All right, here we go. Whole Brain Teaching Masterclass. And please, do not let me forget the zingy new technique that only the citizens of Amarillo, Texas know about, because that's where we debuted it about 4 or 5 days ago. It's called the Please OK Lala. Don't forget that. It's one of those moments, a crossroad moment in your life, and the Please OK Lala is going to change everything, much for the better. All right. Here is our webcast. We're already up to program 560. Week 4, implementing the classroom rules. Now, first of all, you got to buy the book, my friends. And here's what's happening. I have the book set up so that if you buy the book, you can get the electronic download for about $4. So you can read it on the computer, you can hold it in your hands. I was looking at the book today. I kind of like it. Here we are. WholeBrainTeaching.com. 100,000 registered members, 4 million views on YouTube, 10 million pages downloaded. We are one of the world's most popular education websites. And why is that? It's free. 40 ebooks, 60 hours of webcasts, 60 YouTube videos for zip. That's why we're so popular. And we're effective and fun, but I think mostly it's just free. Here are our 2 special friends. Biffy Bluebird. What if someone wants a copy of these slides or needs a professional development certificate? And Smarty Wonderbeak. Hey, Smarty. Hey, Coach. Easy breezy lemon squeezy. Details are at the end of this program. Anybody out there using Whole Brain Teaching for professional development credit? Give me a fast yes or no. Professional development credit. Because you can get professional development credit. All right, my friends. All right, here we go. Let's look at the classroom rules. So this is about implementing the classroom rules, but let's look at the classroom rules before we implement them. This is from last week. Quick review. So the 5 rules are: Rule 1, follow directions quickly. Rule 2, raise your hand for permission to speak. See, I'm making small gestures. Rule 3, raise your hand for permission to leave your seat. Ah! Rule 4, there's a new gesture. Rule 4, Make smart choices. I'll give you that full screen. Make smart choices. Why did we change the gesture? Because make smart choices is more fun than make smart choices. Tell you what, who likes the new version of Make Smart Choices and who prefers the old version of Make Smart Choices? You tell me. New or old, make smart choices. I think we got some people out there who like to have fun. Okay, you like the older one with the older kids? Good enough. Here are the rules, multicultural, available at wholebrainteaching.com. Jeff Battle, always good to have you online. Here's rule 2, raise your hand for permission to speak. Drawn by my wonderful daughter, Saskia Biffle. Rule 4, make smart choices. And rule 5, keep your dear teacher happy. Now, let's talk about implementing these rules. Pretty important to implement the rules once you've taught them. So you teach the kids the rules, you go over the gestures, you do that for a week or two. Here's how you implement rule 1. When you want to speed up a transition, you say papers or seats or page 34 science. Your kids respond with a three-peat, papers, 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 or seats, seats, seats. Students perform the procedure rapidly and then celebrate. Rehearse the three-peat 5 times a day. Here's how it looks. You're going to say one word, lines, or seats, or papers, or math book 19, or names on paper. And the kids say it 3 times and do it as quickly as possible. When they've accomplished the task, they all do this. Woo! They keep doing this, woo, until you wave them off, because there's a couple of kids there in the back row that you need to go back and help. Who is using the three-peat, and what experience have you had with it? Let's look at what our online audience has to say. Who's using that three-peat? Magical in 6th grade. Apple Pilot says they're doing the woo. Melanie says she's going to tomorrow. Budsley is using it. Aussie teacher, and it works even in Australia. Now, here's the deal. You must rehearse. Do not expect the three-peat to work unless you rehearse it about 5 times a day. Once they've got it down, go to something else. Do not, this is huge, do not try to fix the behavior that is not positive in your classroom. Do not try to fix it when it happens. Glasses are off, my friends. Do not try to fix the behavior when it happens. Fix it before it happens. How do you fix it before it happens? You rehearse the correct way to do things 5 times a day. Is everybody with me on that? When the boat is starting to sink, that's not when you plug the leaks. Be sure the leaks are all plugged up before you set forth on your voyage. Fix it before it happens. Rehearse the right way, rehearse the wrong way. All right, my friends, got that out of my system. So you use rule 1, you use it for all your procedures. Use a timer to set class records after a while. Chris Reckstead is online. Man, we ought to just stop the broadcast. He is the co-founder of whole brain teaching. My friends, if Chris Rexted says something, pay attention. He's high up in the pantheon of whole brain teaching superstars. As the year unfolds, shorten it to a 2-peat, then a 1-peat. So after a while, you say papers, they say papers, papers. Eventually you get to papers and they say papers, and they do it really quickly. Practice the 3-peat diligently. Use these things in the opening weeks. I just want to know, true confessions, how many people, we're a month or more into the school year, how many people have kids and it's taking them forever to open their books? Tell me the truth. Who's got kids who are doing their transitions too slowly? Whose fault is that? That we got kids taking forever to do the transitions? About a third of them. Yeah. All right, does anybody, all right, I know that's a problem. Anybody want to hear a little bit more about Rule 1? Any questions? Pose the question. Pay attention to an answer from somebody in red. There are vets. I'm going to go on to implementing Rule 2. Rule 2, and Chris Rexted has been to South Africa. I've been to Turkey. We've been overseas. We're finding Rule 2 is the big problem, not just in the United States of America, my friends, but all around the world. Kids are blurters. Why? They're kids. Now you have to decide. You have to have a face-to-face talk with yourself. Are you serious about Rule 2? Raise your hand for permission to speak. If you're serious, stick to it. You're the problem. I mean, we're talking colleague to colleague, not embarrassing you, but colleague to colleague. The biggest problem in classroom management, and I'm taking off the glasses here, the biggest problem in classroom management is the classroom manager. You tell the kids, raise your hand for permission to speak, and then you acknowledge a kid who didn't raise her hand. What's up with that? All right, again, true confessions. How many people out there tell their kids all day long, raise your hand for permission to speak, and then they acknowledge kids who haven't raised their hand? Oh, this is huge. This is so big, I'm putting on the glasses to take off the glasses. Chris Rexted, you're going to love this. Jeff Battle, you're going to love it. Listen to me. Listen. You've got kids coming up to you at recess saying, teacher, 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 teacher. Who's got kids coming up to them at recess saying, teacher, teacher, hey, teacher, teacher? Who's got that at recess? Tell me, yes or no. Let's look at the screen here. I'll move the screen right over here. Kids coming up to you at recess saying, teacher, 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 teacher. You hate your own name, somebody. All right, listen. Here's the deal. My friends, here's the deal. See if you love this. We raise our hand for permission to speak, even at recess. So they're running up to you, and you teach them, go over there, run up to me and say, teacher, teacher, teacher. Good job of doing it the wrong way. Now go back, run up to me, and raise your hand. You see, we've got about 35 kids. And some of them are kids, like immature. We want to teach them to just hold it for a second so that I can deal with you in turn. Is everybody just, I imagine most of you have fainted because that's brand new, but is everybody digging the idea that at recess we're going to raise our hand for permission to speak? Yeah, they're digging it. All right, my friends, that's groovy. Let's go back to the screen here. Now, what you do is, when you see a kid speaking without raising her hand, you say, "two." And all the kids say, "Raise your hand for permission to speak." So that's your call out. That's your implementation. Rehearse all day long, 5 times a day. Have a kid speak without raising their hand. Then have a kid speak without raising their hand, and you say "two," and everyone says, "Raise your hand for permission to speak." Practice the wrong way. Why do you practice the wrong way? So they learn the wrong way is wrong. That's an important lesson. Yeah, it is. All right. Here is more about Rule 2. Use verbal cues as I just showed you. You're going to call out "two." The Rule 2 silent cue targets an individual student. 1 minute of recess practice precedes practice cards. I've got to take some time on this because this is huge. Once everybody knows that when you say "two," they're going to do this, raise their hand for permission to speak. Then when a kid, rambunctious, full of life kid is still blurting out, just show them the 2 fingers and just get them to do, that, silent. And then I'm several months in, folks. Then what you're going to do is you're going to say, "My friends, I'm not angry at you, but anything we learn to get good at it, we have to practice it. So some of you will be practicing for a minute at recess the gesture." So you have the kids sit aside, and for a minute they're going to do this. That's a prelude to our practice cards, which we use after Christmas. But some teachers have some challenging kids, and those kids need to practice Rule 2 for a minute at recess, or at lunch, or after school. That's how we implement Rule 2. Now here's Rule 3. It's the same thing. When you want to correct students who leave their desks without permission, those are the wanderers, you say Rule 3. Your kids say, "Raise your hand for permission to leave your seat," and they make the gesture. Rehearse this 5 times a day by asking students to leave their desk without permission. This is an idea that is very, very alien to us in instruction. We're so rigid. We just want right behavior. But we have to teach that the wrong behavior is wrong. And wandering around when you're teaching, that doesn't work. And if you want to turn this into a critical thinking exercise, you say, "All right, kids, when you say 3, raise your hand for permission to leave your seat, woo, because," use the because clapper, "it makes for an orderly classroom." Get kids to start using the because clapper after a while, so they're coming up with the reasons behind the rules. Two and 3 are very similar. We don't need to spend a ton of time on them. So you should be able to shorten the Rule 3 cue to just 3. And if they're really quick, they get a point on the scoreboard. And we'll talk about the scoreboard before long. Now let's talk about the philosopher's favorite. Let me just take off my glasses. My friends, Coach B was a philosophy teacher. I'm not anymore. 4 decades. I taught Plato and Aristotle and Augustine and Aquinas and Descartes and David Hume and John Locke, Friedrich Nietzsche and Immanuel Kant. 4 decades. Lots of philosophers. Maybe I'll give you a 50-hour webcast on the history of philosophy. But here's the thing. They all disagree, except on one thing. Every philosopher, no matter how violently they disagree, agrees on this. We should make smart choices. Now, they disagree on what a smart choice is. For example, Socrates thought a smart choice was know thyself. Plato thought a smart choice was learn mathematics so you can think abstractly. Aristotle thought a smart choice was never do too much and never do too little. But all philosophers agree they should make smart choices. That's what's so great about Rule 4. It applies to everything. When you want to discuss smart or foolish choices, you say, is it a smart choice to, or is it a foolish choice to? And the students respond and use the because clapper. Yes, it's a smart choice to, because. They speak a complete sentence and use the because clapper. Use it to begin discussion on student behavior, fiction, nonfiction, anything. So I'm going to appeal to my online audience. Give me a sentence that would be a discussion starter. Is it a smart choice to whatever? Pose a rhetorical question. Folks, if you don't know what the because clapper is, Chris Rexted, Buzzley, and some other people will explain it to you. Is it a smart choice to whistle in class? Is it a smart choice to complete the nightly homework? Toss a pencil across the table? To run down the stairs? You know what, my friends? I just heard something the other day. It's off topic, but it happens a lot. Teacher said, I had a kid come up to me the other day and said, Johnny just called me a doo-doo head. Kid was outraged. He got called a doo-doo head. Now the teacher, on the way over to talking to the kid who got calling somebody a doo-doo head, says to the upset child, said, are you a doo-doo head? The kid says, no. The teacher said, well, get over it. I don't know, my friends. I just feel like, yes, we've got to stop the name calling, but we've also got to teach the kids to be tougher who get called names. Are you a doo-doo head? No? Well then, don't worry about it. Now take care of the name calling. Don't let that go. But talk to the kid first about a strategy to get over being called a name. I think we made our kids a little delicate here. I don't know. You don't have to agree with everything I say. All right, here is, let's just look at Rule 4. It's the universal rule for human behavior. In class, on the playground, at home, discussion of stories, anything. Blank is a smart choice because blank. Rule 4, use it for academics and non-academics. You're going to love it. Now here is the teacher's favorite. I need to know who is using Rule 5 to stop backtalk. Tell me, my friends, who's using Rule 5 to stop backtalk? I'm going to put you right in the middle of the screen. Here we are. Because backtalk can shorten your career. You haven't had any Jennifer in Oklahoma, just celebrate. Or whining, or whatever kind of verbal behavior does not produce a learning classroom. Here's how it works. When you want to stop backtalk, you say Rule 5 and vigorously hold up 5 fingers. The kids respond, keep your dear teacher happy. Students make the Rule 5 gesture and practice this 5 times a day. How do you have kids backtalk you on purpose? Here's what the Rule 5 rehearsal looks like. You say, Juan, I'm going to ask you to work harder, and when I do, you say, I am working harder. So get it? So you go, yada, yada, yada. Juan, please work harder. And Juan says, I am working harder. You say, great job. That's backtalk. Now let's do it again. And when Juan says that, I'm going to say 5. And you all say, keep your dear teacher happy. And then you say yada, yada, yada. Juan, please work harder. He starts to say, I am. You go, 5. Keep your dear teacher happy. Practice the wrong way. Why? So they learn the wrong way. Don't fix the behavior when it happens. Fix the behavior before it happens. All right. If you've got questions about any of the implementation, ask them and pay attention to the answers of the red names. There's a loophole in every rule except Rule 5. They can claim they're following directions quickly. My friends, there have been kids, you've probably had them, who get up out of their seat. You say, raise your hand for permission to leave your seat. And they say, I'm not out of my seat. I'm getting my pencil sharpened. So our challenging kids are looking for a loophole in every rule. There's no loophole in Rule 5 because there's only one person who's the authority, you. No challenging kid in the last 13 years has ever successfully argued with Rule 5. No challenging kid gets up in a teacher's face and say, I am making you happy. You know what I mean? Can't be done. That's why you need it. Now, your principal says, or a parent says, what's this about Rule 5? You take off your glasses and you say, let me explain to you about Rule 5. And you use a calm, professional tone of voice. You say, I understand your concern. Rub your hands together like this. I understand your concern. Rule 5 does seem like it's about me, but au contraire, mon frère. That's French for, not so, buddy. The only thing that makes me happy is seeing my kids learn. So it sounds like it's about me, but my happiness is generated by their learning. Putting the glasses back on. That's a good day to wear glasses even if you don't, so you can take them on, take them off, and put them back on. All right, where do we stand with our questions about implementing? Pay attention to the names in red. Now, here are the strengths of the 5 rules. Rules 1 to 3 cover the most common classroom management problems. Slow kids, kids who speak without raising their hand, kids who wander around. Rules 4 and 5 are universal. They cover everything that's left. Do not use nebulous rules like be fair, care, and share. That's a good exercise in rhyming. But all those rules have loopholes. My friends, you could have kids who are being fair, caring, and sharing and still taking forever to open their books and while they wander around the classroom making foolish choices. And they could claim they were being fair when they weren't. PBIS rules fit under Rule 4. All of PBIS, if you're using it, are examples of making smart choices. Here is the class rules cheat sheet When you want speedy transitions, it tells you what to do. When you want no blurting, it tells you what to do. When you want no wandering, it tells you what to do. When you want smart choices, it tells you what to do. And when you want no backtalk, it tells you what to do. There's the cheat sheet. Keep it in hand. Give it to your subs. Now, during the master class, we have challenges. If you're a rookie, your students have mastered rules 1 to 2. Let's check it out. How many rookies do we have out there? Your students have only mastered rules 1 and 2. There's rookies. Or they haven't mastered rules 1 and 2 at all. Rookie. Okay. Welcome, rookies, to Teaching Heaven. Rookie means they can do it. Now at the pro level, they've mastered, they are following rules 1 to 4, and if you're an all-star, you have virtually eliminated challenging behavior from your classroom. That's what we're looking for. Now, important point. This is a biggie. This is a take your glasses off point. There's so much to whole brain teaching. How do you keep track of what you should be doing? Brand new tonight, because this is week 4, here's my suggestion, an advanced tally sheet. We've been saying all along, keep track of how many times you use the class yes. Keep track of your mirror words. Keep track of how many times you rehearse. But what if you want to use the class yes and the mirror words and the rehearsal and the silent mirror and the class boom? How do you keep track of all that? Oh, I'm so glad you asked that. Here it is. You have a multi-row tally sheet. So you track how often you use the class yes. Are you using the class boom or mirror words, rule 1? You decide. You decide what goes in there. Are you just going to work on class yes and mirror words? Great. Are you just going to work on rule 1? Great. So have some rows, have some days, and if you don't know class boom, go back to week 1 webcast. That's right, Lori. I'll tell you about class boom because I love you. Oh, there I said it. I said the L word. In class yes, you say class, they say yes. And their hands should be folded. Very often they're not folded. When you say class boom, they say yes, boom. It's a way to get the hands folded. Here's Coach B. Practice, my friends, practice. Use the tally sheet to focus on the WBT strategies you want to implement. In 13 weeks, when our master class is completed, that's 9 weeks from now, you'll be breathing the sweet, intoxicating, heart-inflaming air of teacher heaven. Now, we only got 9 weeks to go. You've got to start using the overview tally sheet. Start using it. You've got 9 weeks to go. I want to meet you in Teaching Heaven. Now, JJ Jive says, well, what about kids who don't go along, Coach? JJ, we've got you covered. I hope so, Coach. I've got some kids who don't go along. They don't move. Or they do wacky stuff. They just don't go along. Here's the huge point. We've been talking about it and developing it. Here's the huge point. When your kids know the rules, and I'm going to tighten the screen on this. When your kids know the rules, rehearse Rule 1 5 times a day. Practice doing things quickly. You call out papers or whatever and note your leaders and rebels. After each rehearsal, pick 5 to 8 kids as a leadership team, no more than 2 rebels. Stand next to the weakest rebel. Then call out papers and note the speed of the leadership team. Praise any improvement by the leaders and rebels. No place for the rebels to hide. Who has tried the leadership team? I'm putting you on the screen. Who's tried the leadership team? Yes, a lot of people are loving it. The rebels just stand. You got too many rebels. If you've got rebels standing, you have 1 rebel and 15 leaders, and you stand next to the 1 rebel. And pick your weakest rebel. All right, my friends. Again, you've got some kids that are rebels. Don't try to fix your most rebellious rebel. Chew away at the rebel clique. Pick your weakest rebel, stand next to him, and surround him with leaders. Now, with challenging kids, you always need something for your back pocket. I'm coming up on the Please OK La La, which I've never revealed to anyone except Chris Rexted and the citizens of Amarillo. Here's your back pocket. After rehearsing the rules and then implementing them for several weeks, go to 1-minute practice at recess for your most challenging kids. The student sits in a special area and for a minute rehearses the rule gesture. If the student refuses to make the gesture, say, 1 minute my way or 2 minutes your way. This is a prelude to the practice cards. Now, you've got to get the strategy. It's a long year. By the end of this 13-week masterclass, the last session, I will summarize 15 strategies to use with challenging kids. Space them out. Keep stuff in your back pocket and stick with it, stick with it, stick with it. And then go to something else. Here's our summary. And I haven't revealed the Please OK La La yet. Rule 1 is for transitions. Rule 2 is for blurting. Rule 3 fixes wandering. Rule 4 helps with choices and critical thinking. And Rule 5 is the backtalk stopper. Rehearse 1 rule at a time. Get it down. Use the tally sheet and rejoice. Now, if you want a copy of our rules, they're up here, 5 rules. See, I'm in the store. Cost you 99 whopping cents a piece. That's where you go for the 5 rules. Here's Ms. Linenthal. Hi, Coach. Great broadcast tonight. My cold has really gotten better. Ms. Linenthal, I would hate to hear you when your cold was bad. Oh, it was bad, Coach. I'm feeling like a Tweety bird tonight, but gosh, implementing the rules sounds great. But how could I get a professional development credit for this broadcast and a copy of these slides? People sometimes want a copy of these slides because they're not able to memorize 57 points. Here's what you do. You go to wholebrainteaching.com and you click on the PayPal button. Pay attention and donate $5.60. 560 is the code number for this program. Before long, sometimes within minutes, and always within 24 hours, you'll get an email with a professional development certificate and a PDF copy of these slides. Look here. Here's the website. Here is the scoreboard app. It's not there anymore. And here's the PayPal button. Click on the PayPal button, put $5.60 in there. And I will send you a copy of all these slides and a professional development certificate suitable for framing. And a special tonight, if you order the Classroom Rules implementation download, you get a bonus download, What is a Sentence? And in this download, I teach your kids all about sentences and fragments. I do it for you. Just put the PDF in the computer and drink your foamy latte. I teach you. I teach them too. All right. Next week, I still got a zingy coming for you. Next week, transforming students into teachers. That's our Teach OK. That's one of our great innovations in whole brain instruction. It's the Teach OK. It's our version, so wonderful, of Pair Share. If you want an on-site seminar, email me. I'll send you a trainer. Chris Biffle at wholebrainteaching.com. Here it is, the zingy bonus. I got to see how many of my friends want the zingy bonus. Nobody has ever seen it except me, Chris Rexted, and the citizens of Amarillo. It's the Please OK La La. I'm going to take a drink here and just watch the enthusiasm. I'm getting some enthusiasm. Please OK La La. Ho 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 ho. Oh. Please OK La La is a zingy bonus. Here it is, my friends. I'm just really liking your enthusiasm. Andre, you don't know about the Please OK La La. Giselle, you don't have a clue about it. Even my vets do not have a clue about the zingy bonus, except for Chris Rexted. Here's a special sign that I made for the Please OK La La La. Edge of my seat. Here it is. Pay attention. I'm going to explain it to you and then I'll show it. I'll explain it to you, then I'll show it to you. Teach your kids that when you ask them to do something and use the word please, they should say okay. However, if you forget to use the word please, they can say la la la. Occasionally during class, use please to ask your leaders to do something. They will respond okay. Then forget, quote unquote, to use please. When you ask a rebel to do something, he will eagerly answer la 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 la. You say, oh goodness, I forgot my please. Please do such and so. The rebel will respond okay and feel like he really put one over on you, but in fact he was following directions when he said la 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 and when he said okay. Do you see that? I'll go over it again. We used to use this 8 years ago and we forgot about it. It's a hidden secret. Practice this. When I ask you to pay attention and I say please, just say okay. So then you practice again 5 times a day. But if I forget to say please, shame on me. You can say la 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 la. Don't they love to say la 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 la? Then use it during the day, keep saying please, and then forget, do it for 2 days. Forget to say please. Say, John, pay attention. John's going to say la 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 la. He says, oh my goodness. Please pay attention. And John says okay. John digs it because he put one over on you. But in fact, He was following your directions. We call that twisted psychology, where the kid experiences his challenging behavior and all the natural joy it gives him while being inside your system. Who's going to use please, okay, la, la, la tomorrow? Who's using it tomorrow? Explain it to the principal. Chris Rexstead has used it. Chris, you remember it? I'm sorry, my friends, but I set you up. I set you up. You're not using it tomorrow. No, I'm taking my glasses off and pretending to be upset at you. How long a year is it? It's a long year. You don't go to please, okay, la la tomorrow. You've got to implement the rules. They're not even opening their books fast enough. You save please, okay, la la until after Christmas. Open it for Christmas. You understand what I'm saying to you? Keep it for when you need it. Tell me if you're with me on this. I know you are. We're all on the same page. We're just too eager to use good stuff. I got carried away myself, and then I thought, oh, wait a second. We shouldn't be using this right away. All right. Get the book, and if you want 10 of our webcasts, which would cost you like over $50, we have a bundle of webcasts 501 to 510. You get Universal Homework Model, Oral Writing, Super Improver Wall, The Genius Ladder, 5-Step Lesson Template, Prove It for state tests, Mind Soccer, Brain Toys 1 and 2, and Super Speed 1000 in one bundle for $19.99. So if you go to PayPal on our website and you put in $19.99, I'll send you the whole bundle. Best offer I got tonight. All right, my friends, we do appreciate your attention and everything you bring to our webcast. Huge crowd tonight from all over the U.S., including Australia. If you have questions, stay online, ask, pay attention to the names in red. And Adrian, thank you, 1, 2, 3. My friends, come back next week and bring some friends. We'll be talking about the Teach OK, which is the core of our method. It's how we get kids to teach each other what we just taught them. And it's where the fun really starts in whole brain teaching. So instead of classroom management, we'll be talking about instruction. Oh, kind of good to talk about instruction. Tonight is 560. Now, Jeff Battle, put your email address on there for middle school teachers. Sarah Metter, she's got her email address up there. Chris Rexstead, offer your assistance. Budsley, you're an expert in kinder, offer your assistance. Giselle, you're one of our great 5th grade teachers. Let people know how to contact you. Lots of help, lots of wisdom out there. My friends, it's great to be with you every night, and I will see you next week. So first, let the states and grades pour down the screen. Where are you at and what grade do you teach? Let's see it. $19.99 gets the bundle. Look at this. Look at it. We're hitting the whole US of A. Tennessee, Pennsylvania, Missouri, Newport, Oregon, Cincinnati, Ohio, North Carolina, Northern Virginia, Nebraska, Illinois, Seattle, Titusville, Lynchburg. We got challenging students all over and teachers who love the challenge of teaching kids who really, really need it. My friends, my family continues to need your prayers. That's the beauty of these private webcasts. We can talk about God a little bit. We do need your prayers. Thank you so much. We thank God every night for the prayers of our friends across the country. My family is having some serious issues. So, my friends, it's Coach B. Till next week. Power to the teachers. I'll see you before long, my friends. God bless us all.